Winners and losers from the NBA Draft Lottery. The NBA conducted its annual draft lottery Tuesday night in New York. Determining where teams will pick when next month's draft is once again held at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Winners: Philadelphia 76ers. After spending the past 3 years trying to lose their way into the top pick in the draft, Philadelphia finally struck gold this season, earning the right to choose between Ben Simmons or Brandon Ingram at No. 1. Now with one of them in the fold, the possible return of Joel Embiid from multiple foot injuries. Former first-rounder Dario Saric potentially coming over from Europe and plenty of cap space to use. The Sixers could quickly go from being one of the NBA's worst teams to a potential playoff contender next season. Sam Hinkie. For the past 3 years, Hinkie has been maligned for the way he went about rebuilding the 76ers. It even wound up costing him his job at the end of this season, when he resigned with a 13-page letter that wound up leaking to the public. But now Hinkie has been vindicated, at least in part, by Philadelphia landing this pick. All of those reasons that the Sixers are going to have a chance to be much better next season are because of the work that Hinkie did laying the foundation for a turnaround by accruing lots of cap space, draft picks and other assets to give the franchise a chance to become a contender. The credit when Philadelphia does turn itself around will likely go to Hinkie's successor, Brian Colangelo, and others. But Hinkie deserves his fair share, especially if the player the Sixers take with the No. 1 overall pick turns into the franchise-changing star the ex-GM spent the past 3 years trying to find. Los Angeles Lakers. Each of the past 2 years, the Lakers went into the lottery with the possibility of giving away a high draft pick. But after finishing second in the draft last year, they did so again this year, meaning they keep their pick and get the chance to take whomever the Sixers pass on between Simmons and Ingram. Like Philadelphia, the Lakers are expected to aggressively try to use their cap space this summer to upgrade the roster. In what is a season that General Manager Mitch Kupchak and Vice President of Basketball Operations Jim Buss need to see tangible improvement at minimum in order to keep their jobs. Getting the second pick will undoubtedly help in that pursuit. Karl Anthony Towns, named the NBA's unanimous Rookie of the Year earlier this week. Towns represented the Minnesota Timberwolves on stage Tuesday night and did so wearing a chain with late Timberwolves coach and executive Flip Saunders's wedding ring around his neck. It may not have led to the Timberwolves moving up in the draft, but it's another reason to root for one of the most likable, not to mention talented, young players in the entire NBA. Boston Celtics. The Celtics saw their trade with the Brooklyn Nets from 3 years ago pay off in a big way as they claimed the 3rd overall pick. Boston fans then got a green room shot of Isaiah Thomas and Chicago Bulls star Jimmy Butler, a possible trade target, chatting together in the green room. Butler was there to represent Chicago in the lottery. If the number 3 pick turns into the star the Celtics need via either drafting a young player or trading for a veteran, Tuesday could be looked back upon as a momentous day in this franchise's history. Devin Booker. No, the Phoenix Suns rookie guard didn't bring his team any additional luck as the Suns left the lottery with the picks they were projected to get No. 4 and No. 13, the latter coming from the Washington Wizards in a trade for the Markieff Morris. The reason Booker is here, however, is because he hung out with teenage Suns fans Jenna Warren for the past couple days in New York leading up to Tuesday night. Warren, who has Down syndrome, developed a relationship with Booker this season after coming to nearly every Suns game early to watch him work out, like with Towns bringing the memory of Saunders with him to New York. Here's another reason to like one of the league's bright young stars. Losers. Brooklyn Nets. 3 years after trading away their future to get Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce from the Boston Celtics, the Nets were forced to sit at home and watch as the Celtics walked away with the 3rd overall pick. There is one silver lining for the Nets: they didn't lose the top pick to the Celtics as part of the trade. but they still gave up the kind of selection that will help the Celtics continue their path to contention for a title while Brooklyn stares down one of the toughest rebuilds of any NBA team. New Orleans Pelicans. After a season full of bad luck with injuries, the Pelicans really could have used a leap to the top of the lottery, and with it, the possibility of taking LSU star Simmons with the top pick. They desperately need another young talent to pair with Anthony Davis, given their roster is surprisingly void of players in Davis's age range. Instead, New Orleans remained in the 6th spot, which isn't awful, but also seems unlikely to bear the kind of game-changing player a move into the top 3 would have. The rest of Philadelphia's roster, after Brett Brown, the 76ers head coach, appeared on the stage for the lottery, he was interviewed by ESPN's Heather Cox on ESPN. As part of an answer, he said, "I love some of my current players and I feel we can grow with them." Translation: half my team isn't going to be here next year and I'm thrilled. Drama. So much for the lottery being fun or exciting. The 14 selections went exactly in order they were set to be in before the lottery began. No teams jumping into the top 3, no surprise top picks. No drama with the Lakers losing their pick. Instead, it went exactly according to form. What's the fun in that? Willie Cauley-Stein, the Sacramento Kings rookie, couldn't have looked more bored to be in New York. Not that the lottery is exactly the most exciting event in the world, or, to put it more accurately, it couldn't possibly be more boring, but it probably isn't a great look to be on live television looking like you'd rather be asleep. When the television cameras first cut to Cauley-Stein while he was being introduced by Cox, he indeed looked like he needed to be shaken awake from a nap. Then, when the Kings didn't move up, he displayed a 1,000-mile stare straight ahead.